Hello everyone, Squee here, and welcome to the first of a series of videos called Dragon Ball Z League 101. These videos are designed to be tutorials to help the fans of teams and casual viewers alike understand not only the game that Dragon Ball Z League uses, but the system of Dragon Ball Z League itself. The first 5 videos in this series are going to cover the basics, what you need to know as a spectator to enjoy the game. It's going to cover the game itself, what you're seeing when you're watching a match, how the matches are set up, and everything that you would need to know. The episodes after that are going to go more in depth and detail into customization for people who actually work on teams so that you can have a better idea of how to build your team. It's going to cover what customization basics are, the difference between AIs and Pataras, what some popular Pataras are, and eventually we're even going to get into different types of builds and what you can do to help make them work and what's generally not a good idea. So, it's going to be several videos. I plan to go into great detail and to be very expansive, and hopefully if you watch all of these videos you will have all the knowledge you need to be a fantastic member of Dragon Ball Z League. So, without further ado, let's get into the first episode here. We're going to cover the absolute basics. Dragon Ball Z League uses Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, which was a game released for the PlayStation 2 and the Wii. And in my opinion is one of the best Dragon Ball Z games ever made. Not only did it have the most expansive roster and character types, but it also had some of the best looking fights and one of the deepest customization systems of any Dragon Ball Z game. And in my opinion, it did the best job of making it feel like you were watching Dragon Ball Z. Now, what we do is we take 80 of these characters from the impressive roster and we divide them up into 16 teams. In the next episode, I will describe each team, so we won't worry about that now. Just know that there's 16 teams, all with some unifying theme. And these 16 teams are then divided up into 4 divisions: North Kai Division, East Kai Division, West Kai Division, and South Kai Division. Each division varies in strength. Basically, the strongest teams are in North Kai Division and the weakest teams are in South Kai Division, and the other teams are in between. These are decided by the previous season's win-loss records. The reason for this is because you compete with the win-loss record, how many times you've won and how many times you've lost, with the other teams in your division. That way, the weakest teams don't have to try and compare their win-loss records with the strongest teams, and instead you're comparing them with teams that had similar win-loss records to you last season. So, we divide them up into these 4 divisions, and then we start the season. We have 4 preseason weeks, which is a chance to test builds and prepare for the season, and then we go into a 15-week season, where each team faces every other team in the league once. And we keep track of how many of those matches you win and how many of those matches you lose over the 15-week period. After the 15-week period, we take a look at every win-loss record in each division, and the top 3 teams of every division move on to the playoffs. The bottom team is done for the season. Then the playoffs start, and the playoffs run a little differently. They are the best 2 out of 3 matches. Instead of it just being 1 match win or lose, it's 2 out of 3 to help try and ensure that the best team moves on. If you lose, you are eliminated and only the other teams advance. So what happens is the number 1 ranked team in each division gets a bye week. They don't have to compete the first week of the playoffs. The 2nd and 3rd ranked team face each other. Then in the 2nd week, the winner of that match faces the number 1 ranked team of each division until you have 1 team left for each division. Then those teams face off until you only have 2, and we eventually get to the Tenkaichi Bowl, which is like the Super Bowl of Dragon Ball Z League, where not only do we have the championship match, but we also have fun matches like the Gauntlet, which is an unfair match that the divisions try and fight against to see who can survive it. And we have the single matches for the MVPs of each team, where the MVP of each team compete against the other MVPs to see who comes out on top. That's basically a rundown of how the season works. We crown a champion, and we restructure the divisions to reflect that season's win-loss records, and then we start preparing for the next season. Now, the matches themselves are set up during the regular season. It is 4 versus 4. In other words, 4 people from each team face off against 4 people from their opponent team in a tag-style match. The only exception to this 4 versus 4 rule is during the preseason and during the postseason or the playoffs, where all 5 members are competing. The entire team is facing the entire team of their opponent. There is only one person from each team on the field at any one time. However, they can tag out with the other 3 members on the sidelines and regain a certain amount of health and energy. Until there are no one left, or if they die, then their teammate comes in to replace them, and basically they go back and forth like this until one entire team has been killed, and then whoever's left standing, they are the winners, and they get a win in the win column, and the others get a loss in a loss column. Like I said before, the playoffs are the only exception to this rule where we do the same thing, but it's the best 2 out of 3. Other than that, it's 1 match, 1 chance to win, 1 chance to lose, and then you wait till the next week and face the next opponent. Well, that's it for this episode, where we covered the main structure of the league itself and how winners and losers are determined. In the next episode, I will be describing each of the 16 teams so that you have an idea which teams are in the league and which ones you might want to cheer for. So until the next episode, everyone, take care.